Hey guys, today we are going to be talking all about my theories for the Gabriel Agreste episode. So as always, before we get into today's video, be sure to subscribe so you never miss the tea on the show you love. Now, let's get into it. So just the other day, we had actually gotten an update as to where the Gabriel Agreste episode currently stands. After someone had asked Winnie on Twitter, can you tell us how much do we have to wait for Gabriel Agreste episode? Which Winnie replied to by saying 1 month. But then he went on to clarify that this doesn't mean the Gabriel Agreste episode will be coming out in 1 month, but that it will be ready in 1 month. As he says, I can't tell when it will be aired. So while this can't confirm that it's going to be coming anytime too soon, I honestly believe that we will be getting it in around a month, and if not next month, then possibly October, because this is one of the most anticipated episodes this season, and fingers crossed that one of the channels like Gloob will share it with us as soon as they get their hands on it. Not to mention, the other day on Instagram, Lila's voice actor Lisa shared this on her story, which says #in the booth and then has a little ladybug in the bottom left corner. This not only means that she's dubbing episodes, but for the first time this season, we are going to hear Lila actually speak. But with that being said, now I really want to get into my theories. So the only confirmed piece of information that we have currently going into the episode is that somebody will find out Shadow Moth's identity. And while it's yet to be confirmed who it will be, I strongly believe this is going to be Lila. So many, including myself, are expecting this episode to have some flashback moments from their past, whether it be Gabriel's, Emily's, Natalie's, but in particular, I'm expecting them to show a flashback when Lila discovered Gabriel's identity. So now you may be wondering, Maya, what do you mean a flashback when Lila found out? Again, while it's yet to be confirmed, there has just been so many signs that Lila is aware that Gabriel is Hawkmoth and or Shadow Moth, because if we go back to the episode Ladybug from season 3, we hear Lila say to Gabriel, will you keep your promise if I succeed? Meaning that they do have an alliance with one another. And even in the episode Felix, when Felix had sent the video recording impersonating Adrian, after Lila had received it, she sent it to Natalie. As we hear Natalie say, sorry sir, Lila Rossi just sent this to us. It's a message from Adrian's phone. If Adrian's friends thinks it's him on the video, they must be feeling very hurt right now. Why would Lila even care to send that to Natalie, knowing it would have caused people's feelings to get hurt if she wasn't aware that Gabriel was already Hawkmoth and working with him? So with that being said, I see this episode as being more of confirmation that Lila knows, and if it happens to be that it isn't Lila to be the one to find out in this episode, the only other person I'm leaning towards is Felix, but of course that would only really make sense if he ends up making an appearance in this episode. Now I know some people were saying that it could be Natalie or it could be Adrian, but the reason it couldn't be Natalie is because if you go onto the official Miraculous Ladybug channel, they actually have what is called Miraculous Secrets, which are miraculous secret episodes, and in this episode it focuses on Natalie as seen by Gabriel, and Gabriel goes to say, without her, we would have never found the two Miraculouses, meaning that Natalie has not only known all along, but she's been there since the very beginning, which also makes me wonder why Natalie was interested in the Miraculous in the first place. And as for Adrian knowing, we need to keep in mind that this is episode 9 of season 4, and we've seen episodes past that all the way until currently episode 18, so I just find it to be very unlikely for him to find out in this episode. And something I also wanted to mention is, like I said earlier, this has got to be one of the most anticipated episodes this season, and while it's taken a while and or over a year, I'm honestly going to compare this episode to Cap Blanc in the sense that the episode Cap Blanc took a year to create, and it's been a little over a year since we had received the news that there would be an episode called Gabriel Agreste this season. And with that being said, I really am going into this episode having expectations that this this will reveal something else, whether it has to do with the Grand Vanilli rings, Felix, Emily, anything really. Because if we even look at the last time an episode was named after a character in their civilian forms, it was Felix from season 3. And that episode was definitely a bigger episode compared to other ones, in the sense that we learned a bit more about the Grand Vanilli twin rings, Adrian and Felix's bond with one another when they were younger, and just about Felix himself, which the episode was named after. And with that being said, I believe the same could apply to the Gabriel Agreste episode. Now, the question is, who will be akumatized this episode? Some think Gabriel could make a senti monster of himself, there's a chance Lila could be used, but what I'm actually thinking could happen in this episode is that Gabriel gets a clue onto the magical charms that we were introduced to this season. Now, the episode that comes before Gabriel Agreste is Queen Banana, and as we had saw in this scene, just as Chloe was about to get akumatized again, she had put the magical charm on just in time, and Gabriel was shocked because he had no clue why he couldn't reakumatize her. And with that being said, I think we could see him begin to process this and try to create a plan, whether it's making himself as bait or someone else like Lila, to get his hands on one of those magical charms and just discover something that might stop his plans and or slow them down moving forward. And now I did just want to mention that about the magical charms, even if it came to the point where literally everyone had a magical charm, Gabriel could still create senti monsters, because as seen in the episode Senti Bubbler, that senti monster was created from his own emotions. So all he'd have to really rely on is himself continuing to have negative emotions. Something else I'm actually also hoping to get a bit of a flashback on is what's going on with Natalie. This season, more than ever, Natalie has been so ill to the point where she's had to be in bed majority of the season, and so I'm kind of hoping to see Gabriel talk about possibly where Natalie stands, where she even is. I mean, we saw a bit of this room in the New York special, but I'm really curious because it's all like Egyptian themed, and when I think of this Egyptian kind of theme, I think of the episode Pharaoh from season 1, and when I think of that episode, I think about the wish that was mentioned in that episode. But going back to Gabriel thinking about where Natalie stands, this might also be an opportunity for us to see if he's even thinking and or considering about who could fill her place moving forward in battles, and or making someone the new holder of the Peacock Miraculous. But as always, what do you guys think? This episode is going to be amazing. I mean, just the title alone has everyone, including myself, freaking out for it. And while a month might feel like a very long time until it comes, it's gonna be here before we know it, and I'm just glad to know that it's actually going to be ready within a month. But as always, be sure to let me know your thoughts and theories down below, and subscribe so you never miss the tea on the show you love, and I'll see you guys in the next one.